Hey, Kyle Michael here, Michael Real Estate, Remax Momentum. I'm here with my last Sip and Support of 2025. I am with Jamie Anderson of the Genesis Project of Northern Colorado. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks.
We're at 477 Distilling up here in Greeley, Colorado. So a big thank you to them for letting us have their space. But we're going to talk to Jamie a little bit about her nonprofit. So what is the Genesis Project?
The Genesis Project is a home, shorthand, it's a home for single moms, but it's so much more than that because we provide not only fully furnished housing, but we also provide wraparound support, things like counseling, family advocacy, and life skills training for women that are just trying to pursue a new beginning. And we're specifically for single moms.
Okay, single moms that do have kids, is it okay if they don't have kids, or is it single moms only?
That's a great question. The kids, they do need to be single moms, and we want the kids to be able to come live with them.
Okay.
However, there are some occasions where we have women that are seeking reunification through the court system, and they need stable housing in order to have the kids come live with them. So we will also, if there's a chance of their kids coming back to live with them, we also would love to help them out as well, because that's really a gap in our system, and so we like to serve that gap.
So my best question, or my biggest question is, why did you start it? When did you start it up? Why the Genesis Project?
Yeah, the Genesis Project was started 20 years ago by some women who just knew the inherent need for single moms. They understood that it's hard to work and do childcare, and that no matter how hard you work and what kind of job you have, there's always going to be just it's going to be hard to get by. As the organization evolved, they really found that housing was the biggest pain point, and that was before we're living in the current housing market, which is even more expensive. So they really wanted to dial in on providing that housing. So in 2017, they purchased a home in downtown Greeley, just a few blocks south of where we're at right now. It has 7 apartments, and that's where we operate out of today.
And we actually, so I met Jamie through our Guys Who Give. They were one of our first donations. We went to the house. It's absolutely incredible what you guys are doing there. We saw this house and we're like, this is kind of unique. But once you go in it, it's incredible what you guys are doing with such a small space, but making it really a home for these ladies. So what kind of led you to the Genesis Project once you were in Greeley living here and things like that?
Yeah, so I took over as executive director 4 years ago, and there was a combination of factors. I do have a background in education and also in life coaching. I had done some classes at the Genesis Project that taught them when they first opened in the house, and had always just kind of had it in the back of my mind, like, this is a great organization. When they started looking for a new executive director, I just knew it was the right thing. They wanted someone that was comfortable raising the profile in the community, as well as being able to oversee the programming. So for me personally, it was a great fit. But why I was so drawn to it is because of that wraparound service. It's that complete piece. It's not just piecemealing a little, some housing help without education, some job force training without counseling. It was just the whole piece. And that's really what drew me to it, and why I'm so passionate about what we do, because we're very unique in offering this service.
Yeah, absolutely. So how many single moms with families can you host at a time?
We have 7 apartments. One of those apartments is a full-time staff person, so a resident advisor. She's often, right now currently, is a graduate of our program, so we'd like to offer that as a next step. And then we have 3 one-bedroom apartments and 3 studio apartments that are available for families.
So as somebody if somebody were to need this support and things like that, what's kind of the best way to get in contact with you?
Going to our website, so www.genesisprojectnoco.org, it says apply right on there, and that takes you to just a quick form that'll come to my office, and a staff member will call and just make sure it's a good fit, check needs. Sometimes we get intake forms and people need referral to a different service, and we're happy to do that too. We really see ourselves as a resource for single moms. But then from that starts the application process. Unfortunately, right now, because housing is such a need, we do have a really long wait list, and we're working really hard to figure out what our next steps were so we can mitigate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you talked about, so you're full, but you talked about, when we were talking earlier, about all the resources you have. So my assumption is you'll take anybody asking questions and things like that and be able to kind of resource them out, whether that be Northern Colorado or places in Fort Collins and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's our goal to, like I said, just be a resource. And so we're constantly learning about other nonprofits in the area that are going to serve needs for single moms. There's some great opportunities over in Fort Collins and some agencies that work both in Weld County and in Larimer County that we want to refer to. And, we'll do the research if someone needs to go south towards Denver as well, or sometimes they'll call us from there. And if I can't help them specifically with the Genesis Project, I don't want to leave them empty-handed and at least try to share some resources.
Yeah, absolutely. Why does this mean so much to you? This is one of my favorite questions because obviously you're doing it, you're putting a ton of time, you're not making a ton of money at a nonprofit and things like that. So why does this mean so much to you?
I think for me, it's just the good it does in the community. Like, this is not just helping one family, but it is helping generations.
Right.
And so for me, just seeing that opportunity for our women to come in, be safe, be stable. So often they're coming out of circumstances that are pretty chaotic, and that they can just be mom with their kids, and they can just have a safe place to grow and to then get into the community. I was talking to one of our alumni actually last night, and she's closing on a house in December and got a promotion at her job. Those kind of things, that's what we want.
Right.
That's
I'm sure the
goal.
success stories are just touching to your heart and everything.
Oh, absolutely. And sometimes we just play a small part in somebody's life. They might only actually be at Genesis Project for a couple months, and our goal is to just serve them the best we can while we're there and help them to transition to whatever's next for them.
That's incredible. So you're doing something positive. That's awesome. Yeah. Events-wise, what events do you have finishing out the year? We talked about a couple of them, but I want you to kind of explain those. But also in 2026, I know you did a golf tournament this last year. What events can you tell us about that you have coming up?
Yeah, for Christmas and Thanksgiving, we work a lot with other agencies outside of, there's some great agencies that help our moms and our kids with presents and things like that. So as far as what we do, not too much. We do have Colorado Gives Day coming up. That's a big day for any nonprofit, of course. And then after that, we have 3 signature events that we do every year. One at the end of April is our recognition ceremony. That's a free event for anybody to come. Love to have any of our supporters come and just see the fruit of what we do. And it's a celebration, a graduation celebration for our moms. We do the golf tournament at the end of June, and then our signature fundraiser is end of September, early October. We don't have a date set for that yet, and that is our Autumn Ignite fundraiser, and that is really our primary fundraiser for our organization.
And you can find all these on the website, because I actually found them on the website as well. And when we met with you, you told us about the golf tournament. Is that in Greeley?
It is. It's at Highland Hills Golf Course.
Okay.
Yep, and it will be the last Saturday. I think it's June 28th this year.
Okay, perfect.
Last Saturday in June.
You're more organized than most. Most don't have that planned out yet.
Well, I like to plan I like people to get it on their calendars if they can. Yeah.
Especially in the summer.
Yep.
Getting help outside of the monetary, is there help you need inside the resource center? How can somebody help out outside of the events and the things like that?
There's some great ways that actually don't cost any money or very, very little money, and that is an ongoing help for us. One of the things that we utilize is King Soopers Community Awards.
Okay.
So if someone shops at King Soopers or City Market, they can actually go on to the website and select Community Awards, look for Genesis Project of Northern Colorado, and then every time you scan that card, we get a little bit of money from that. And so if it adds up over the course of the time. Also, if you're a Walmart online purchaser, you can go into your Walmart account and click round up. Once again, select Genesis Project in Northern Colorado, and it will just round up your spare change every time you order online at less than $1 every time. But once again, those are things that are sustainable funding for us.
That's awesome. Support inside the building. You guys need any? You looking for any? I know it's always hard to find that support.
Yes, yeah, it always is. Probably one of the biggest things is we keep on hand essential items, things that that can be purchased with SNAP benefits.
Okay.
And that is things like shampoo or feminine hygiene products or diapers or wipes. We have a whole list of those. I'm always looking for individuals that are interested in that. We do have a wish list on walmart.com that you can find, or we could share with you, or anybody that has a business wanting to engage with their customers in some way. That's also something they could do, is host a drive for that.
Okay, awesome. Was there anything else you want to tell us about the Genesis Project of Northern Colorado? Because I know there's one in Fort Collins. This is in Greeley.
Yes, yeah, we're not the church in Fort Collins, although we love them, but yes, it's hard sometimes to make that differentiation. What I just want everybody to know is that, we're a small organization. We're serving one mom at a time, where we're making generational change, and just want to encourage you to check us out.
That's exciting. Well, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. So Jamie Anderson, the Genesis Project up here in Greeley, check them out. We're at 477 Distilling. You need to come in here. Fantastic drinks. They let us use their space. We always appreciate that. John Zamora behind the camera. We always appreciate him. I'm Kyle Michael with Michael Real Estate and Remax Momentum. Cheers to another sip and support.
Cheers.